I think that also comes down to having a purpose. And what you're
Yeah.
talking about, the way I reflect on it, it has to do with what is your purpose in life? What is your purpose
Mm.
as a human being? And if you can find that purpose, and to your point, it doesn't matter whether you're the tiddlywink champion or a chef, or you did what I did, or being able to define your purpose. And most people don't do it until later in life. But if you're lucky enough to
No.
find your purpose, that then motivates you and drives you.
I think so as well, because you've got to find the thing, the purpose comes from what you love, right? And that doesn't necessarily be always the same. These things are tangible. What you love always changes. You can't expect someone to be a sports person of greatness and then wanting, it's okay to move on. That's, I think, a lot of people struggle with is the lack of acceptance of or the lack of being okay with moving on and finding something else they love. And that's totally okay, because as soon as you can do that, you know, you're taking what you've learned from so many different aspects and just transferring it.
I love that. I completely agree with that. And I must admit, and I'll sound a little judgmental here, but I get frustrated when I see people who don't work hard enough at finding their purpose and finding their passion. And they just kind
Yeah.
of rock up and they do their thing and then they go on to the other thing. Life doesn't find you, you have to find it.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, people's mindsets around that, by the way, all change from their personal circumstances. So I accept that completely. Not everybody has that
Of
lens,
course.
but I grew up, when I grew up, I did not want to waste a day, and I still don't. I mean, for me, getting out of bed, having a purpose, I'm 30 years older than you, is so important. It just drives me and
Yeah.
drives everything. And I think when I listen to your story, I think you went on a hospitality journey for the best part of 10 years
Mm.
that maybe you thought was one of the things that was going to drive you, and in part it did. And then you kept on being open to other ideas, and these other ideas, these other opportunities that presented themselves created a pathway that actually helped you to define your purpose.
Absolutely. And I've been constantly, ever since I was younger, wanting to define something or create some sort of purpose in what it is. And that sort of expression of something, ideas. And, again, I think I agree with you. It's like, this is what I'm saying is not necessarily going to resonate with someone who hasn't got that sort of mindset. And that's totally fine. That doesn't make them any less or right from it. It is the joints of all of us that creates a beautiful society that actually runs quite smoothly. But what I have always found that if I can't be creative in what I do, then I become stagnant and then I become a pain in the ass.